Yesterday, Tesla revealed robots that will walk around us and potentially live with us to help us do everyday things. Along with robotaxis that will pick us up and then drop us off autonomously, many people are scared of this feature, but there's a catch. Also in the news, new disturbing details emerge about the Afghan who was arrested for planning an ISIS attack on election day. All of that and more on today's episode.
Facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
Digging right in, we actually are starting with the Tesla event. It's called We Robot. Now, Tesla unveiled a lot of technology at that event yesterday, and he said that level 5 autonomy, which is fully autonomous driving without any input from the driver, is closer than we think. And it's just basically waiting on the United States government to actually allow level 5 autonomy. Already, California has allowed this to happen, not on the scale of Tesla, but with other companies that don't have as much experience as Tesla. And basically what happened with those other companies is not good at all. The cars are reportedly just stopping in the middle of the street. This was reported about a year ago now. It's cars with Waymo and a couple of other robo companies that try to implement what Tesla's doing, but they don't have the ability to actually capture data as much as what Tesla was doing. So what Tesla does is, as you drive Teslas around, it'll examine how you drive to make self-driving better. So when you use full self-driving or autonomy or auto steer in the car, what it does is it analyzes the scenery and it analyzes exactly what's happening. And if something does happen and you need to stop it and stuff like that, then it reports it to Tesla. So basically here, you can actively do full self-driving in the cars that are already out on the market now. But what's going to happen is that obviously with level 5 autonomy, since you don't have to do anything and you don't have to put any input in, you can just sit back, relax, and you can actually just watch Netflix or do whatever you really need to. So you might as well use it to do something that you need to do or get some work done or whatever. They also released Robo vans, which is a bigger style van and it can actively hold 20 different people in there, and you can actually customize it to fit whatever your needs are. If you want it to be a transporting van, if you want it to be a camping van, if you just want it to be filled with a bunch of seats, you can have that. And it's really, really cool to see this kind of feature here because of the fact that, like Elon was saying in the event, we will have less parking spaces. There's so many parking spaces that's used just to sit around and basically do nothing. So with level 5 autonomy, your car can just drive to you, pick you up, and then drop you back off at home. And you don't have to park anywhere but your house. So we don't need all of these parking spaces. We can have more greenery. We can have more trees. We can take back the scenery and make it looking a lot more better. And of course, with this being said, there was a lot of people that could actually just try these out for themselves, get into the fully autonomous vehicle, no steering wheel, no gas, no brake, no nothing, and just try it out for themselves. A lot of people are saying that it looks really, really cool, which I agree. I mean, it looks futuristic. This is the future that we see in sci-fi movies. This is the future that we see in books and stuff like that. So I think that yes, we should make it exactly that, the future. I think Tesla is the best company for that. But the thing is, for me, I just would not trust a robot, be like a robot buddy, just walking around the house, just doing stuff autonomously. I just would not trust that at this point in time. A lot of people are saying, well, with artificial intelligence is going to take over and blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that at all. Again, these are sci-fi movies we're basing this on, and I don't think that has any grounding in reality at all because, again, artificial intelligence is artificial intelligence, and it does not have the ability to actually think other than what it was coded for. That's how technology works here. This iPad cannot just magically turn into a phone, and I mean, basically it can do the same stuff, so that's not really a good example. But you can't, like, I just don't know how to explain scripting. Like, for a person that does not script, you can't explain scripting. Like when you put out a code and you tell a robot or something to do something through script, you cannot have something do something else that's not in the script. It's not programmed to actually do that. So it's kind of hard to explain other than actually just try scripting for one time. Go on a JavaScript website and you can try to create a script and you can see that it is stuck within the compounds of the very script that you put and implemented into that system. So you can't have the robot do something that it's not scripted for because it does not have the ability to actually think. It's artificial intelligence. You're replicating artificial intelligence, AI. So it does not have the ability to actually think. It has the ability to examine, see figures, see pictures, match up with it, and see exactly and solve problems here. That's what AI is really good at. But real world issues, yes, AI is getting really, really good at that really, really fast, but it does not have the ability. It's never going to have the ability to actively think for itself. Ask Google, give me a number between 1 and 100. It's not random. It's a generated thing. There's a difference between artificial intelligence and neural intelligence, which is the active intelligence that every person has. There's a difference between the randomity of the number that artificial intelligence will give you and a random number that a person will give you. A random number that a person will give you is truly random and not based on any scripts. A random number that Google will give you through their AI software is going to be not random because it's through a script. So again, it's very interesting when you actually look at the key differences here. It's really, really interesting when you start digging into this, because this then becomes a conversation that's much broader and much more sophisticated than a lot more people can actually handle at this point, because of the fact that it's really a new technology and people are so much grounded in the fiction of sci-fi movies and the Men in Black type thing, or iRobot movie style thing where these robots try to take over and start killing people. It's all fake. I mean, obviously, when you look at Back to the Future and you can see all of these devices that Back to the Future had, they had FaceTime calling, they had this, they had that. We're not going to be scared of this technology now in our present day because a movie had this. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Just like going to multiplanetary investigations and multiplanetary taking overs, I don't think that we should stop doing that and have no ambition to actually do that because of the fact that in the movie we did it and it failed. It just doesn't make any sense. So again, I think Elon Musk is the best person to actively do this. I think that Elon Musk is the best person to put at the forefront of this new technology, because if I was to trust a person, it would be Elon Musk. So with that being said, we have another article from the Daily Wire here. We have scenes from breathtaking rescues after Hurricane Milton hits Florida. So the storm made landfall at a Category 3 strength. First responders had been hard at work helping people and animals with Hurricane Milton slamming into Florida as a major Category 3 hurricane late on Wednesday, I should say. Milton swept through the central part of the state, unleashing heavy rain, tornadoes, and a storm surge. At least 10 deaths have been reported, and millions of customers have lost power. This is exactly why DeSantis is actively having hundreds of thousands of electrical workers on decks on the scene, ready to just go into any part and just put the power back on. Milton swept through the central part of the state. Like I said, all the while rescue efforts have been underway. Here's just a few now that the hurricane has passed. One striking video posted on social media showed the United States Coast Guard said was a helicopter crew saving a man holding onto a cooler about 30 miles off of Longboat Key. So we can take a look at this video here. They had communications of a man approximately at 6:45 p.m. He was holding on to a cooler, and you can see that he's just holding on for dear life through the cooler here. So as soon as he does that, they come up to him and try to rescue him through a helicopter. So that's really, really cool that we could just do this. I would like to hear exactly what happened to actually get him to that point. Like, how did he just appear in the middle of nowhere with a cooler? Did he was he in a situation that just got flooded and he's like, oh, let me just get on a cooler? I don't know. Really interesting here. Sheriff Chad and the Team HCSO's Marine unit rescued a 14-year-old boy that was submerged in floodwaters and flooding debris following Hurricane Milton. So they go over to him, try and pick him up with a boat and save him. This boy was trying to stay as much as he possibly can out of the water, but of course he's fully submerged in water here. Yeah, not good at all. Um, I I just don't want to know what these people are going through, why they didn't leave. A lot of people are saying they don't have money to leave because they need gas, they need this, they need that. And a lot of people are saying that they had no ability to actively leave, so for the government to try to force them out, they think that the government should have helped them a little bit more. But the thing is, the government really can't help you anymore because there was hurricane centers for you to go to get the help that you actually need here. So what you can do is you can go to these hurricane centers. You can go and there's a big room with a bunch of people in there, and they'll help keep you safe as much as you can if you really cannot evacuate. But they were telling people not to stay in their house. So I would like to hear the story behind why people actively stood in their houses. A lot of people are like, oh no, I'm on a hill, I'll be good. And then they are good, but then right in front of their door, it's just flooding. So again, I wouldn't want to see the scenery. I would leave the state or possibly go more up towards like St. Augustine area. I would definitely try to go up near there to try to get as much as I possibly can away from this. Yeah, I would not want to be in the site whatsoever. Then they came out and said that they rescued over 135 residents from the Great American Assisted Living Facility in Tampa. And this person said that they're very thankful. Then Tampa troopers rescued a dog left tied to a pole on I-75. And they said that you cannot leave your pets. And Ron DeSantis actually retweeted it and said that they will prosecute people that abuse dogs to the highest extent of the law. They rescued the dog and gave him a towel. And he is now receiving the care that he needs. He was examined for injuries and received a clean bill of health. So that's really good that he's okay, because it's just absolutely disgusting that somebody would just leave a pet there. Yeah, it's just absolutely disgusting. I don't know why they would just leave a dog just all tied up in the middle of a hurricane. Like, you just want the dog to die, which is just absolutely disgusting. They're like, nah, it's either me or the dog, and I'm tying up the dog. So disgusting. I hope they find whoever did this and prosecute them to the highest extent of the law. Because of the fact that you cannot do this to dogs. They don't deserve that whatsoever. So, with that being said, we have another article. We have disturbing details emerge about an Afghan arrested for planning ISIS attack on election day. So, the Islamic man from Afghanistan who was arrested in Oklahoma on Monday for allegedly planning an ISIS terror attack on election day reportedly worked as a security guard in Afghanistan for the CIA. NBC News reported that the 27-year-old had minimal interaction with Americans, and he was not a CIA informant or a member of the United States trained armed force known as Zero Units. After news broke about the arrest, questions immediately began to swirl about how the Biden-Harris administration failed to properly vet this guy when he was evacuated out of Afghanistan following the administration's disastrous withdrawal of 2021. Charging documents stated that he was brought to Oklahoma by the administration under the Special Agent Visa Program. However, sources told the NBC News that the charging documents were wrong and he did not enter the United States under the Special Immigrant Visa Program. Instead, he entered the United States on a humanitarian parole, which entails for less screening than a special immigration visa, the report said. Officials claim that once he entered the United States, he applied for a special immigrant visa and was vetted through the program. But even though he was approved, he took He never took the steps to make it official. No further details was provided. Okay, so how is it possible for you to actively just ignore ICE patrol and ignore all of the background checks that in the regulations that we have in America? If you just say no, it's okay. You could just stay in America. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Yeah, this again is a huge failure on the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris administration, which is actively letting in illegal immigrants left and right. And they're going to wonder why something bad actively happens. And that's because of their failure and their catastrophe, not only failing us, the Americans, multiple times over and over and over again, but also allowing all of these people that are an ISIS watch list and all of these terrorists into America. So we'll be extremely lucky if we don't have an event like 9/11 in the future. So with that being said, we're going to do it for this episode. If you did like this episode and you do want to see more, I do post new episodes of the show every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening, and I hope they have a great rest of your day. Bye.